Friday night baseball here at the stadium. The Yankees are getting ready. They've got some smiles. Why not? They're in first place in the American League East, and they're going to get an opportunity to meet their arch rivals, the Boston Red Sox. That means that Big Papi is in town. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees won the first two games of the series against Tampa Bay, and they lost the final two games of that series. So that means they are right back where they started. They're a half game in front of the Rays, and they are tied in the loss column. So there's about a week and a half left to decide if you're going to go for the American League East title, or is it more important to rest your players and get ready for the playoffs? What side do you land on?
You know, I think the Yankees right now are probably going to rest some regulars. They're going to set up that rotation, a lineup for the playoffs, and they're going to try to rest the bullpen. They still want to win the American League East. Every one of the players in that dugout, in that clubhouse, wants that goal. I think Joe Girardi is going to play it very conservatively.
Now, do you believe that the reason they can play it conservatively is because home field's not that big a deal in baseball?
You know what? The Yankees are good enough to win the World Series. They can win it without home field advantage. They have the talent to do that. Obviously, you would like to have the home field. I don't think Joe Girardi is going to get anybody hurt to get it.
All right, 9 games remaining for the Yankees. The first of those 9 games, this is the pitching matchup against the Red Sox, and it's brought to you by the New York Lottery. Josh Beckett will go for the Red Sox 5-5 with a 5.71. Andy Pettit, in his second start since coming off the DL, he's 11-2 with a 2.81. In that first start against Baltimore, he actually pitched very well, John.
Well, it was great news for the Yankees getting Andy Pettit back after that groin strain. Fans were happy to see him back in Baltimore, and he did not disappoint. Through 6 innings in this ballgame, the pitch count up to 79. He did not miss a beat. A lot of ground balls, a double play turned here by Derek Jeter and Robinson Cano. He only walked 1 in that ballgame, threw the ball over the plate, and the only run was on a bunt single. Most importantly, Andy Pettit came out of it healthy.
Now, his mound opponent tonight is Josh Beckett. Josh Beckett, obviously for his career, is one of the best pitchers in baseball. But for some reason, that doesn't worry the Yankees. Why? That's coming up next right here on segment 2. Away from the first pitch of the Yankees against the Red Sox. Always fun, a great rivalry. Now, starting for the Red Sox is Josh Beckett. Now, talking to you right now, John Flaherty and Michael Kay. Josh Beckett's not having a great year, but he is a great pitcher. The interesting thing, though, is that when he takes the mound, he doesn't seem to really pitch that great against the Yankees.
Yeah, I think the bottom line, the Yankees do not fear Josh Beckett. They have hammered him this year in 4 starts, an ERA over 11. And when you watch him pitch to the Yankees, he is not afraid to challenge them with fastballs, and it's straight. The velocity has been down a little bit this year because of some injuries to his back. But when Josh Beckett takes the mound and the Yankees step up to the plate, they know they're going to get a fastball, and they don't seem to miss it. Like I said, 0-2 in 4 starts, an ERA over 11, and a lot of the damage done on that one pitch.
Now, it's interesting, John, you're talking about this year. Yes, they've beaten him up this year. He's not the same pitcher, but look at that bottom line. In the regular season, career-wise, 6.23. This isn't some number 3 or 4 starter. This is an ace. This is the guy who's won big World Series games, and they hit him to a 6.23 ERA. So it'll be interesting to see how he pitches tonight. And tonight is always fun. Even though the Red Sox have a long road ahead of them if they want to try to get into the postseason, not likely. Yankees and the Red Sox special. Lineups, first pitch, baseball. Next, right here on Yes. Today at your Honda dealer. By Mass Mutual, a company owned by its policyholders, and by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Yankees have taken the field. Andy Pettitte is taking his warm-ups, and we're taking a look at the Red Sox starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Red Sox come into this game 84 and 68, 7 games off the pace of a wild card spot, and they will lead off their second baseman, Marco Scutaro. J.D. Drew and Wright will bat second. Batting third and catching, Victor Martinez. Adrian Beltre having a good year. The third baseman cleans up. Batting fifth and DHing, David Ortiz. Mike Lowell playing his final season. He'll be at first base batting sixth. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Jed Lowry. Bill Hall in left field will hit eighth, and batting ninth and playing center field, Darnell McDonald.
Well, that Boston Red Sox lineup going to go to work against Andy Pettitte. It'll be his second start since coming off the disabled list. We'll look at his numbers on the year, and they are impressive. 11-2, 104 hits and 121 2/3 innings. Look at our scouting report. If Andy Pettitte has a good night tonight, you will forget all about CC Sabathia and his struggles last night, losing 2 in a row to the Rays. And so far, so good. 79 pitches his last outing. He's healthy. Looking forward to tonight. Doing a great job against lefties. 164 batting average.
Let's do it. The first pitch is upstairs, and we are underway. When you go back to August 4th of last year, 35 starts, including the postseason, Andy Pettitte 21-4, 3.12. Pitch outside 2-0. Now, he started off the game against the Orioles going 3-0 on the first 2 batters. He said he just didn't feel in sync. And he said no matter how many rehab starts you have, there's nothing about being a double-A pitcher that you can even approximate the energy and the intensity of a major league game.
Well, he ended that outing with only 1 walk, so he definitely cleaned things up as the game went on, found a better rhythm.
Popped up. Mark Teixeira calls everybody off, and Scutaro is retired for the first out. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by Mercedes. Okay, you've already met Teixeira, so we'll start with him. Teixeira's at first, Cano's at second, Jeter is at third, and Jeter's at short, Rodriguez is at third. And we'll go the other way in the outfield. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. The veteran Posada behind the plate. Well, John told you about how tough Andy is on lefties. Here's J.D. Drew. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, you think back to Andy Pettitte when he was a younger pitcher. He had a tough time with lefties because all he would throw was that cutter away, and lefties would eventually get a good swing. Now he might throw some fastballs inside, a bigger curveball, the cutter.
There's a ground ball. Diving stop there by Cano. Over to Teixeira. 2 away.
Robinson Cano doing a nice job going to his left. Lays out for it, smothers the baseball, and then has plenty of time to come up and get J.D. Drew. Usually we see him making the special play going to his right, this time to his left. 2 down.
There's Victor Martinez, 6 for his last 10, 11 for his last 24, sporting an 8-game hitting streak. And the Red Sox will have a decision to make on Martinez. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And of his 18 home runs, 5 have been against the Yankees this season. Switch hitting catcher, but the problem is he's not a great defensive catcher.
That is true. His reputation is not a great defensive catcher, has trouble throwing runners out. Talking to Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach, who also is the catching instructor, said pay attention to Martinez this series, John. We have done a lot of work. When he was hurt, there's Gary in the bullpen. When he was hurt with that broken thumb on his left hand, they were continued to throw, shortened up his stroke, and they feel a lot better about his throwing. Now we'll see. We'll watch the next couple of days.
Well, if he has improved a lot defensively, then that makes the decision a little easier for the Red Sox. Obviously, they like his bat, switch hitter, but they also need a good defensive catcher. They were used to that with Varitek. There's a fly ball to center field. Granderson is there, and he'll put it away in left center for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning for Andy Pettitte. He did it on 10 pitches. Boston nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. It takes his turn on the mound, and tonight's Yankee starting lineup that he's going to face is presented by Lexus. Derek Jeter, the captain, the shortstop, leads off, batting second and playing right field. Nick Swisher, Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Cleaning up, the third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second will bat fifth. Batting sixth and DHing, Lance Berkman. Jorge Posada will catch, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing center field, Curtis Granderson. And Brett Gardner in left field is going to bat ninth.
Yankee lineup going to face Josh Beckett, veteran right-hander. We'll take a look at his numbers. Not what you are used to seeing. An ERA 5.71, only 5-5, and 133 hits in 115 innings. Look at our scouting report. He has had an abbreviated season, missed 56 games with a lower back strain, but he is finishing off strong. His last 5 starts have been a lot better. And the Bronx Brunch, the Yankees in 4 starts have really hammered Josh Beckett. 0-2 with an ERA over 11. They have this right-hander figured out. We'll see if that continues tonight.
Derek Jeter will start it off. He climbs into the box with a 12-game hitting streak. And he's inching the average up, now at 267. He was down to 260. And Beckett deals. There's a strike. Now, you mentioned, John, that the Yankees have Beckett figured out. But has Beckett figured Beckett out because he's not the same power pitcher? Is he a different pitcher now?
Well, we need to look at velocity because we remember Josh Beckett at his best, 95, 96, could hit 97. And with that power curveball, he doesn't get the call right there from Jerry Crawford, the home plate umpire. Now you hear people say his velocity is down a little bit. Does he have to make that transition, Michael, from a really elite power guy to maybe just a guy who has an average fastball?
1-1. Grounded to third. Nice play by Beltre. He sets and fires, and a backhanded scoop by Lowell, and Jeter is retired. Let's take a look at the entire Red Sox defensive schematic, brought to you by Mercedes. So you've seen Beltre at third and Lowell at first, shortstop and second. Let's meet them. Lowry's at short, Scudero's at second. In the outfield, all McDonald, Drew left to right, and Victor Martinez is behind the plate.
Well, a two-seam fastball in on the hands, 92 miles an hour. And check out the arm strength of Beltre. Sidearm. Nice pick by Mike Lowell over at first.
Here's Nick Swisher. He's 7 for his last 14, and the pitch is up and away. 1-0. So his fastball is about 92 at this point.
And that's his four-seam fastball right there. And we showed some highlights about how the Yankees have beat up on Josh Beckett. They were all four-seam fastballs, pretty much middle of the plate.
There's that splitter.
A good pitch there. Josh Beckett in his prime, when he was throwing that four-seamer, it was upper 90s. Making some adjustments lately. I mentioned his last 5 starts a lot better.
Well, his first 14 starts, 6.67. As John said, his last 5, 3.31. You wonder if the Red Sox knew that he was going to be a different pitcher if they would have signed him to the long-term extension they signed him to before his back went out. But it just seemed like a weird time to do it. But they feel that he can anchor their staff, and it was right after opening day they signed him to that extension. And the 3-1. Nice catch by the ball boy. Let's check out the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 78 degrees, humidity 69%. Not much wind, 9 miles per hour out of the south, and the forecast is for clear skies. Beckett is a veteran, but he just turned 30 this May. 3-2 to Swisher. Still 3-2. Tenth big league season, so he started as a baby, 2-time All-Star. He won the World Series in 2003, actually won Game 6 at the old Yankee Stadium pitching on short rest, and also won a championship with the Red Sox, and he was the ALCS MVP. So he's come up big in big games. Ground ball to Scudero. Booted. Stays with it. Good play. E4.
Marco Scudero playing second base, was the opening day shortstop for the Boston Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia goes down with an injury, moves over to second base. Jed Lowry playing short. Routine ground ball, just boots it. A little gift for Nick Swisher and the New York Yankees.
There's a strike to Teixeira. The Red Sox do not shift for Mark the way the Tampa Bay Rays did. They actually are more conventional with 2 infielders on each side, although the third baseman Beltre is way off the line. Grounded to first, and they have Swisher and a rundown. Goes out of the baseline, and he is out. So a double play smashed into by Teixeira. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. We played 1, and there is no score. this season. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply, and boy, there are a lot. Number 1, Mike Cameron. Number 2, Jacoby Ellsbury. Number 3, Dustin Pedroia. Number 4, Kevin Youkilis. Andy Pettit back on the mound, and he deals to Beltre outside 1-0. Beltre is a player who gambled on himself. Free agent, he signed a 1-year deal for $10 million, and he's made it pay off, and he expects to cash in during this offseason where he thinks maybe the free agent market will be a little bit looser.
Well, you remember seeing the Red Sox early on when they were healthy. Beltre was hitting down in the order. Now hitting in a nice spot, 4th in front of David Ortiz. Rightfully so, putting up some big numbers. 324, 4th in the American League, 99 RBIs.
And there's Kevin Youkilis, a big blow losing him. One of the better players in the league, and the right side of the infield goes down. Pedroia and Youkilis. 3-2.
Is Terry Francona, the manager of the Red Sox, the manager of the year?
You know what? I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think a lot of consideration is going to be given to Ron Gardenhire, how well the Twins have played. But in terms of squeezing the most out of your team, I'd have to give it to Francona.
I mean, how many times during the year?
There's a ground ball to third. Charging is A-Rod. Fields fires, and the scoop bites his shell.
A couple of nice plays by the third baseman in these games. You can see the injuries of Pedroia's cast. And Michael, how many times you see all the list of the injuries have you wanted to say, you wanted the words to come out of your mouth that the Red Sox are done. This guy got hurt, they're done. And Terry Francona just never let this team quit.
And although it's mathematically very difficult, they're still not done. I mean, it's close to being done, but they're still not done.
Walking through that clubhouse this afternoon, the Red Sox are a very loose ball club. They have nothing to lose, obviously, coming in here. They feel good about the pitching matchups, and they said, you know what, let's talk about things on Sunday at the end of the series and see where we stand. Confident group.
David Ortiz, who got off to another slow start, has 31 homers and 96 ribbies. That one's popped up, and it's going to be out of play. 4 more RBIs, and he will have a 6th career 100 ribby campaign, but his first since he drove in 117 in 2007. Many people were writing the obituary for his career. He has an option that the Red Sox have to decide whether or not to pick up. Do they do it? He's so popular in Boston, and he seems like he's still an effective player.
But this is 2 years in a row he's gotten off to terrible starts and then has rebounded. It's another tough decision for Theo Epstein, the GM at Boston. And you remember at the beginning of the year, I mean, pitchers were throwing the ball right by David Ortiz. Dave Magadan, the hitting instructor, has done a nice job making sure that he gets ready a little bit earlier, started taking care of that fastball, confidence rising, having a big year. It's Dave Magadan.
The 1-2. 2-2. Even when he was struggling, Ortiz said, of course they're picking up my option. Now, the Red Sox have not come out and said it, but he feels confident they will. It's a pretty expensive option. The 2-2. 3-2. And if you look around baseball, the price of DHs has gone down. There's Mike Lowell, who is going to be retiring at the end of this season. Three-two.
We've seen about 4 fastballs in this at bat where Andy Pettit has just challenged David Ortiz right down the middle. Ortiz a little tardy on the fastball, pulling out just a little bit with his front side. He's gotten a couple of pitches to hit in this at bat and hasn't taken advantage.
Giving out to left center field. Giving Chase Granderson. He's on the run. He's on the track. He's going to have to play it off the wall. It caroms away from everybody. Granderson runs it down, and Ortiz is at second with a double. Now, the Red Sox have an opportunity here to play spoiler against the Yankees. But before the game, Terry Francona said he doesn't quite like that word.
I wish we were 8 games up. Nothing really changes. The best way we can go about our business is to play good tonight. Then you can use whatever word you want. If we spoil somebody's chances or if it makes us better, it all comes out the same. If we win, we're going to be happy.
So Francona's team 84-68. They're 7.5 games behind the Yankees, and they're 7 back in the loss column behind the Yankees and the Rays. Now, the Red Sox have 6 games left with the Yankees, so they don't quite have it all in their hands, but they need a little help from the Blue Jays if they happen to sweep out the Yankees. But the Yankees have no intention of letting that happen.
Yeah, but Terry Francona has them believing, and he's used this one game at a time thing before. You can think back to the 04 postseason, and it obviously worked for the Red Sox in that situation. But you come in here tonight, you got a tough lefty in Andy Pettitte. If you can find a way to win this ball game, then things start getting interesting.
Strike.
John Lester pitching tomorrow afternoon against Nova, a young kid for the Yankees. Matsuzaka on Sunday against Mosley. All of a sudden, the pitching matchups don't look too bad for the Red Sox, but got to take care of tonight's game.
One. And also momentum shifts, John. Let's say that the Red Sox do the unthinkable and they win these 3 games. Then all of a sudden, then it's a footstep thing. You kind of hear them in the background, and you have 3 games left, and those 3 games against Toronto become pressure packed. But the Yankees now on the flip side, Yankees have to win 2 games against the Red Sox out of the 6, and they clinch a playoff spot. So it doesn't seem likely for the Red Sox. The 1-2. That one is looped into right field, coming on Swisher, and he can't make the play. Ortiz will stay at second, and Lowell will reach on an E9.
Well, you can see Nick Swisher shaking his head. One of those looping line drives off of the bat of Mike Lowell. And it's a perfect height that Nick Swisher is going to have to fight the lights. You can see he does not get a good look at it on Yesmo right off of the heel of his glove. He's shading his eyes from the lights. It's just one of those perfectly hit balls that finds the top bank of lights on the stadium. The Red Sox trying to take advantage of a gift.
Here's Jed Lowry. That one is driven to right field. Going back, Swisher. He's on the track. He's at the wall. See ya. A 3-run home run for the Red Sox shortstop. His 7th of the year. And Boston leads 3-0. Well, that is a sudden turn of events against Pettitte.
Yeah, did not see that one coming. You give Ortiz credit for getting a bunch of pitches in his at-bat and then hitting a double. A little error by Nick Swisher, and then Lowry takes care of a first pitch fastball out over the plate. And it had that good sound off the bat and carries about 6 rows deep.
Let's take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Mentioned that good sound off the bat. Nice carry. Short porch in right field. 3-0 ball game.
Bill Hall, and there's a strike.
See the Red Sox excited about it. I mentioned they're playing very loose in that clubhouse, have nothing to lose. Got off to a good start. Michael, you talked about momentum and the way last night's ball game went with CC Sabathia, #1 starter, had a lead. It didn't go well. Tough loss, and now you come out here in the 2nd inning losing 3-0 already. We'll pay attention to the Yankees the rest of this ball game. See how they fight against Josh Beckett.
Line drive and foul. Andy Pettitte has struggled a bit on the road, keeping the ball in the park. He has 13 home runs he's allowed. 10 of the 13 have come here in the Bronx. And John, I would assume that those numbers make sense as Bill Hall goes down on strikes. When you consider he throws strikes, he's always around the plate, and this ballpark plays small at times.
Well, especially to right field, and nothing against Jed Lowry, but that ball's, 5 or 6 rows deep, going the other way. I don't know if he has quite that type of power, but you're right. Andy Pettitte not afraid to challenge hitters. Pretty much a four-seam fastball out over the plate to give Lowry credit.
Here's Darnell McDonald. Off speed, breaking the ball outside. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Count 1-1. High fly ball center field. Granderson drifts back. That'll make the play. But the Red Sox scored 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. The big hit on the first pitch that he saw. Jed Lowry goes the other way into the short porch and right. It's a 3-0 Red Sox lead. To 1929. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-3 on Babe Ruth Day, held at Fenway Park. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees, and that deal, of course, ties these franchises together forever. Ruth traded to the Yankees. The Yankees never looked back, and the Red Sox waited 86 years to win another World Series. There's a strike to Alex Rodriguez. The Yankees are down 3-0 on the Lowry home run.
Michael, you said last half inning that David Ortiz, of course they're going to pick up my option. That much confident in his ability. I watched Josh Beckett out on the mound, stands very confident, knows that he is good, and you look at his numbers on the year, 5-5 with a 5.71 coming into this game. Those are not good numbers, but you watch his body language, he feels like he's going to beat you when he's out on that mound.
Missed outside. Home plate umpire is Jerry Crawford. They checked with the first base ump. Chris Guccione said no, he didn't go.
I was really paying attention with Beckett tonight. You mentioned before the velocity down a little bit. He's come up with a little cutter, and that's the first one we saw right there to Alex Rodriguez, about 86, 87 miles an hour.
Told you about Jerry Crawford behind the plate. Chris Guccione at first. Phil Cuzzy at second. And Brian O'Nora is over at third. Swing and a miss. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. A-Rod down swinging.
92 miles an hour on the gun, but a little life in the zone just above Alex Belt. The addition maybe of that little cutter at 86, 87 gives you another pitch to think about. 92-mile-an-hour fastball right by Alex.
Pitch to Cano. Off speed. 1-0.
We've seen a couple of curveballs already that Josh Beckett has felt like were strikes and did not get the call. It's like Victor Martinez having a little conversation with Jerry Crawford behind the plate.
Great numbers against Beckett for Cano. A pretty good split award.
He's got it all going. I mean, the fastball, curveball, split, a little cutter.
And the 1-1. 1-2. You think that's as hard as he throws now, John? 92?
You know, we'll pay attention. If that's as hard as he throws, you would expect he would be getting hit hard. I mean, because that 92-mile-an-hour fastball is straight as a string. We've seen a couple of two-seamers that have some movement down in the zone. You know, you could pitch with 92 as long as you're showing your other pitches that are a little slower. The curve, the split, and the cutter would be enough to get that fastball by some hitters. Talked about it. Can he make the adjustment from being that real dominant power pitcher, two-pitch guy?
There's 93 up high, and Cano swings through.
Not a very good at bat for Robinson Cano, swinging a split down in the dirt and then a fastball up. Clearly a ball. That's the Robinson Cano of old. Haven't seen a lot of that this year, swinging at pitches out of the zone.
Here's Lance Berkman. Now, Beckett's average fastball velocity last year was 94.3. This year it's 93.5. But, John, when he was an elite pitcher, he was over 95.
Well, you know what he could do? Step it up when he needed it. I mean, he would pitch at 94, 95, and then all of a sudden you'd see 97 when he needed a big pitch.
Soft ground ball to second. Scudero is there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Josh Beckett as the Yankees go down in order. We go to the third. 3-0 Sox. The journey, 2 more games against the Red Sox, and that finishes up the home season in the regular season. Then on the road, 3 against Toronto. Thursday is an off day, and then 3 in Boston at Fenway Park to finish off the 2010 regular season campaign. So we start the 3rd inning. Scudero takes a pitch high. It's Scudero, Drew, and Martinez here in the 3rd. And the 1-0. Now we have an opportunity to talk to our very own Kimberly Jones. She's in the 3rd base camera. Well, Yankees made a little news today, Kim, regarding Phil Hughes. He was supposed to start on Sunday. That's not changed.
That's right, Michael. Phil Hughes has been pushed back till Wednesday. It will be his final start of the regular season, and it's all about the innings limit, Joe Girardi told us. Nothing to do with playoff scheduling, certainly nothing to do with Phil Hughes' outings lately. Joe said that they simply are committed to that innings limit. Phil Hughes right now at 169 1/3, so you do the math. 170 to 180 was just about right in terms of a range.
Absolutely, Kim. Everybody thought it was 175. The Yankees never commented it. Phil Hughes never even knew what it was, but it looks like, he averages about 6 innings to start. They want to keep him at 175. Now, let's talk about CeCe. The way it would break down, he pitched yesterday. He could actually pitch 2 more times, but that's not going to happen, right?
No, that definitely will not happen right now. Although we're presuming postseason, I think it's safe to presume postseason, and CeCe Sabathia will make 1 more regular season start. He is under the impression it will be Friday. Joe Girardi isn't saying right now. That is a week from today, of course, and that would line CeCe up to be on schedule for Game 1 of the ALDS the following Wednesday. And John, I'll ask you this. When you got your ace and you're probably headed to postseason, how much sense does it make to give him the rest now, and then he's on turn going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that's more important, Kim, that he would be on turn going into that first game in the division series. And I'm sure Joe Girardi and Dave Eiland will have a conversation with CeCe. Take a little time now, get some work on the side, and then get ready for the playoffs.
Now, Kim, I have to ask John another question then regarding the first thing you reported. Phil Hughes now is going to have a lot of time between his last start and the one on Wednesday, and then he's probably going to have a lot of time between the Wednesday start and his first one in the playoffs. Is that going to be negative?
Yes, I definitely think it will be. But if there's one guy on the staff who has been skipped a bunch of times, it's been Phil Hughes. So Dave Eiland, even talking in the clubhouse today, they have a program in place. He'll get some work. But I don't know anything about this, Kim. I don't know if you heard anything. Maybe Phil Hughes out of the bullpen. Game 1 of the playoffs might be available. Who knows?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. They're not mapping it out that far in advance for us, John, but certainly you would think they'd want to get him in there at some point, get him some work.
That one's up the middle and past a diving Jeter and into center field, a base hit for J.D. Drew. Now, Kim, John spoke about this earlier. He was in the Red Sox clubhouse, said they're very, very relaxed. And Terry Francona and his team kind of sending out messages, hey, it doesn't look good mathematically, but we ain't dead yet.
Absolutely, and you heard Terry Francona's comments in the previous inning, Michael. He said, he wishes they were 8 games up. They're not. But he also says we don't feel undermanned. He says that because of their inconsistency is because of mistakes they've made. He said there's not a 3-run home run that makes up for all of those mistakes. We saw one of them in the first inning with Scudero's error. He's playing out of position. Scudero's also banged up. But those are the kinds of things the Red Sox have experienced a lot of. It didn't hurt them in the first inning, but it's hurt them a lot this season. But true to form, Francona making absolutely no excuses when it comes to injuries. And I think most people in baseball would say if he wanted to make those excuses, he could do so.
Now, Kim, John and I noticed something from up here. And now you're down there. Obviously, you're within the crowd and you can feel it. We feel so much more energy and electricity tonight than we had in the previous 4 games, which was a battle for first place. Do we judge it wrong up here, or do you sense it down there?
You know what? I think you are exactly right. And you don't read my mind, so don't get any misconceptions about that, Michael. But before we came on, as I stood here in the camera well, that occurred to me. This crowd is buzzing, literally. I think it's a Friday night. That helps. And it's the Red Sox. And you know what? No matter what the standings say, I think that helps, too.
Good stuff, Kim. We will hear from you on the postgame.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, that's Kim Jones. I just feel it too, John. I feel a different energy about the building tonight.
No, there's no doubt. Anytime the Red Sox come into this stadium or the Yankees go to Fenway.
Grounded and through the right side, a base hit for Martinez. That extends his hitting streak to 9 straight as Drew moves to second.
Watching Andy Pettitte give up some of these hits, you would say his stuff is not bad, throwing the ball over the plate. Give Martinez a little bit of credit here, staying on a pitch away, shooting it past Robinson Cano.
Beltre swings and fouls it off. Let's talk ALDS, John, with the Yankees. The ALDS would start on Wednesday, okay? And everybody assumes the Yankees are going to go with 4 pitchers, and they certainly said they're going to go with 4 pitchers. But let me lay this out for you. You've got games 1 and 2 on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday is an off day. Saturday and Sunday is games 4 and 5. Then there's an off day, and then there's game 5. So let me throw this at you. You start CeCe game 1.
Yes.
You start Pettit game 2. You start either Hughes or A.J. Burnett, whichever one you think is better in game 3.
Right.
Then you're either up 2-1 or you're down 1-2. You start CeCe on 3 days, and you start Andy Pettit on full rest. Maybe you could go with 3 pitchers.
You definitely could. I mean, CeCe has proven to us he can go on short rest.
There's a ground ball. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1. There's 2. We'll get more from John on this in just a moment. Red Sox lead 1. They get 2 hits at the end of 2.5. It's the Red Sox 3 and the Yankees nothing. Partnerships are built on trust at G Capital. We prove that every day.
Well, pretty much a routine double play. Derek Jeter over to Robinson Cano. A good feed, steps in front of second base, and plenty of arm strength over to Mark Teixeira. A nice double play and a partner play.
All right, let's pick up where we left off, John. You could use 3 pitchers in the ALDS. I don't think you could do it this year in the ALCS because there are fewer off days, and that means you'd have to have 2 guys pitching on short rest. But by going with 3, CeCe's such a horse, he could pitch on short rest. And you go with Andy Pettit in game 2 because I think you'd rather have 2 starts from Pettit than from either Burnett or Hughes.
Well, the most important thing, if there is a game 5, Andy Pettit would be lined up on regular rest, and I think that there's not a Yankee fan out there who doesn't feel good about that. So you say, CeCe, you're going to go on short rest right from the beginning. We're not even going to pay attention to how it plays out. We're up 2-1, or do you leave somebody hanging?
It's a great question. So at 1-2, if you're down 1-2, of course,
right.
That's a no-brainer. But if you're up 2-1, do you want to mess with sending somebody out there that you don't fully trust as much as CeCe? 2-1, boom, you want to put it away. Now, the flip side is, if you can win that game, then you have CeCe set up to start game 1 of the ALCS. So there's a lot of layers to cover there.
Yeah, you know, I guess I'm thinking more along Phil Hughes and where his head's going to be at. I think it would be a lot better if all this is happening. You tell CeCe you're going on short rest. Either way, Phil, you're going to the bullpen. We loved what you did out of the bullpen last year. Now our bullpen is even stronger for the first round, and he knows exactly what his role is. Obviously, we don't know if that's going to come to be, but you want to make sure everybody going in knows exactly what their plan is. They can have their routine and perform at their best.
Now, last year, they were a proponent of pitching Burnett in game 2 and Andy in game 3. And Joe Torre had always said that game 3 was your big game, your swing game. As Posada grounds one, grabbed there by Lowell, nice play, feeds to Burnett, or check that, Beckett, and there's one away. But I think I don't think you can afford that this year. Let's say if the season ended, if the Yankees end up with the wild card, then they're going to play the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins are lefty-laden. So if you start 2 lefties in a row, maybe you neutralize Mauer, you neutralize Span, Kubel, maybe you keep Tomey out of the lineup as well. Those are big bats there. If you can bring them down just a smidge from what they normally do, I think that's why you go with the 2 lefties. Yeah,
Mauer, maybe not that big of a deal. He's such a good hitter, can hit lefties. The other guy, I totally agree. If you can keep Tomey on the bench. But you know what? I've always been, and I've said it all along here when we're getting ready for postseason, I think the Yankees would like to do what they did last year if A.J. can show you something down the stretch. Now, you've changed my mind on this short series with Andy Pettitte pitching that big game instead of an A.J. Burnett, who would be the Game 2 starter.
Right, because if you start A.J. Burnett in Game 2 and you go with 3 guys, then he's pitching the game to save the season in Game 5. And although he can be great, he's been very inconsistent this year. That's why I love this time of year, because these are such great. I mean, you can make great cases either way, but it's not an easy decision for the people who have to make those calls because your season's on the line. It's not fun for them.
No, just think about all the information that the organization has to dissect as well. Okay, you know, if we're a wild card, we play the Minnesota Twins. Now, I'm sure the Yankees have scouts who have been on the Twins the whole month of September. They're going to know everything in and out about every hitter in that lineup. What is a good matchup, a bad matchup, and then everybody gets in the room and you make some decisions.
2-1 to Granderson. Pitch outside. Now, Pettitte against the Twins this year, just to finish this up, 2-0, 1.26 in 2 starts. And A.J. in 2 starts against the Twins this year is 1-0 with a 1.54. So both of them pitched very well against Minnesota.
Yeah, but that was A.J. at the beginning of the year, I'm assuming, where he got off to that great start.
That one's driven deep to right field. Drew back, track, wall, see ya. Another home run for Granderson. He's been red hot. Yankees on the board, and the Red Sox lead 3-1.
Josh Beckett, and his fastball is pretty much straight. Does not have a lot of movement. Curtis Granderson gets one right down Broadway, and you mentioned it, Michael, a red-hot hitter, 22nd home run. Gives the Yankees a little bit of life. Josh Beckett had been dominant to that point. Yankees on the board.
Here's Brett Gardner, and there's a strike. .22 home runs. He's been a different hitter since that tutorial with Kevin Long, the Yankee batting coach. The 0-1. Breaking ball strike.
Hot at the right time, coming down the stretch here in September. You hope he continues in the playoffs.
Strike 3, Gardner down looking.
Up at bat for Brett Gardner. Curveball for a strike, and then a fastball right on the outside corner. Perfect pitcher's pitch for strike 3. You hate to do it, but sometimes you have to tip your hat.
Looked like it was outside. Not by a lot, but it was outside. I told you Granderson has 22 homers. Well, 12 of them over his last 131 at-bats. He had 11 through his first 309 at-bats. So he's a different player. Last year, 30 home runs, and remember, he was out a week, or he was out a month this year with the groin injuries. Derek Jeter extends his hitting streak to 13 straight with that single center.
Again, Derek Jeter doing what we've seen during the course of this hitting streak. Backing the baseball up. Gets jammed a little bit, but he has the proper mechanics to drive the ball right back up the middle. And on Yesmo, you can really see that knob of the bat leads, the barrel follows. Another base hit to extend the hitting streak.
So Jeter's on first with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Nick Swisher. He reached on an E4 in the first inning. The ball just booted by Marco Scudero. Hey, one quick note about Jeter. You know, you talk about guys that just know how to win, and also he's been somewhat fortunate to be on this Yankee team starting in full-time in '96 when they took off. He's been involved in 1,376 regular season victories, and that ties Mickey Mantle for the most in franchise history. Those guys have been involved in a couple of victories as well. That one's popped up behind the plate. Victor Martinez tosses away the mask, and that will do it. Yankees get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. The run came on that swing. Curtis Granderson goes yard. His 22nd, 3-1 Red Sox. To hit 50 home runs. Who are the only 2 Red Sox to hit 50 home runs in a season? David Ortiz takes a pitch inside, 1-0. Not quite a full moon. If it moves just over to the left, it would be dotting the I in Stadium. That one is grounded up the middle, grabbed by Cano, but no play as Ortiz gets himself a single.
There's another infield hit for David Ortiz. Robinson Cano shifting. Andy Pettitte does a nice job. Fastball in on the hands. You can see Ortiz release with that top hand. Derek Jeter shading up the middle. Robinson Cano playing a little short right field. Gets a backhand, but will not unleash a throw. Would that be considered an infield hit?
I was thinking that. I guess not. The ball landed in the outfield. That's a base hit for Mike Lowell. So he picks up a single.
Infielder caught it. I'd go to you with these questions.
You know what? I don't know, John. I don't know. Now, if he throws him out, it's a 4-3, but he didn't make the throw. Does it count where the ball landed? Just because he's positioned oddly. I'm sure that Ortiz has an infield hits clause in his contract. Red Sox lead 3-1 over the Yankees, top of the 4th. And the pitch inside to Lowry. Now, Andy Pettitte nowhere near as sharp as he was against the Orioles on Sunday. He threw all of his pitches for strikes, threw them on the corners, changed speeds, and you can see he's struggling just a little bit in this game. He's already up to 55 pitches. There's a strike. He threw 79 over 6 innings on Sunday. Tampa Bay leads Seattle 2-0, bottom of the 3rd.
No, but Michael, what were you looking for from Andy Pettitte tonight? Obviously, he wants to go out there and dominate a lineup. You know, I just like to see him get through this game healthy, get that pitch count up to maybe around 90, 95. Good fastball right there. But you get a little different feeling after the Yankees lost 2 in a row to the Rays, and now all of a sudden the Red Sox jump out 3-0.
Andy Pettitte has induced 17 double plays this year. He'd like another one right here off the bat of Lowry. Not to be. Loops it into right center. It's going to be a base hit. Let's see if they get the force at second. No, they don't. And the bases are loaded with the Red Sox. Let's see how they went at Jed Lowry. The pitch by pitch brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Well, Andy Pettitte remembers Lowry swinging at the first pitch. His last at bat, he goes curveball, fastball in, another fastball up, and he blocks it off the right field. If you're Andy Pettitte, what do you got to do in this inning? 3 consecutive hits. David Ortiz a ground ball, Mike Lowell base hit to left, and Lowry a jam shot to right field. None of these hits really scored, so he has bases loaded, nobody out.
Andy has now allowed 7 hits to the last 12 batters he faced, and here is Bill Hall with the bases loaded. Yankees play the infield back to try to get the double play. Pitch inside, 1-0, and you respect Jack Curry, don't you?
Incredible.
He just texted me, said that is not considered an infield hit.
Well, see, now instead of going to you when I need some information, I'm going to text Jack Curry because obviously he has the answers. But in fairness to you, he probably has a computer in front of him.
But I also said it was not an infield hit. And then I said I don't know when you
but you kind of wavered.
Well, you know what? Then go to Curry from now on, okay? Go to him.
Wow, your tone is changing quickly.
Posada wants to talk with Pettitte.
Oh, we've seen this from Andy Pettitte in his career. He can pitch himself into some jams. Maybe a cutter in on the hands. He gets a ground ball in the double play. I'm sure that's what Jorge Posada and Andy Pettitte were discussing. It's the best chance we can get for a ground ball here.
The 1-0. Driven deep to left, but foul. Popped up. Right field. Long run for Cano. And he makes the play. And then fires home. What a play by Cano.
Andy Pettitte looking for a ground ball. He will take a pop-up, and look at how much room Robinson Cano covered. Over the shoulder catch. More impressive, the spin and the throw to Jorge Posada at home plate. Right on the money, holding David Ortiz to third base. Outstanding play.
I don't think he liked the throw.
He's winded. Covered a lot of ground to get to that pop-up.
So now Andy is a ground ball away from getting out of this jam. Blocked there by Posada.
That's what impressed me more than anything. The amount of arm strength he had where he could spin sidearm and throw a perfect strike to Jorge Posada at the plate. Not an easy thing to do.
3-1 Red Sox over the Yankees. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 4th. Darnell McDonald at the plate. Andy Pettitte on the mound. Low 1-0. 1-1. 1-1. 2-1.
You know, Michael, I don't know how you feel right now. Andy Pettitte, when he gets in these situations, it's almost like Mariano. You feel like they're going to find a way to make a big pitch to get out of it. There are other pitchers who get in this situation, the game speeds up. All of a sudden, you're thinking it could be a big inning. We've seen it time and time again from Andy Pettitte. Make a big pitch in a big spot and get a double play.
Count now 2-2. With runners on base this year, they're hitting .205 against them. A vast improvement over 2 years ago when they were .326 last year. A good year for Pettitte, .270. So he does bear down. Now it looks like a sellout crowd here at the stadium, and they are looking for an out here. They'd like two. The 2-2. Just missed. He went back door, missed the outside corner, and the count full of 3-2.
3-2 count. We just talked about it. Andy Pettitte, the ability to make a big pitch. Let's see here to McDonald.
The pitch. And the 3-2 hit sharply, fair ball down the third base line, and the ball boy touched it. He touched it inadvertently. That'll be a double, and 2 runs will score. Brian O'Nora quickly called it a fair ball, and now the umpire looks out at the ball boy, and Joe Girardi's going to argue whether or not that was fair.
Give McDonald some credit. He saw a cutter back door the pitch before this and then rifles it right down the third base line. Brian O'Nora makes the call quickly. See, Alex Rodriguez thought it was foul. McDonald gets to that cutter in. Tough to see there. Brian O'Nora all over the call, makes it right away.
If anything, it got the
front corner.
The front corner, yeah. The ball boy thought it was foul. So now second and third, the Yankees have to bring the infield in. They're down 5-1 on that 2-run double by McDonald. Now by not holding him on, McDonald has, I'd say, about a 35-foot lead at second base because Jeter just can't afford to hold him on.
You got to bring the infield in, but you worry about that little jam shot from Scudero. Andy Pettitte gets a lot of those in on the hands.
1-1. It's so hard to tell. And Andy is clearly laboring tonight. And now, I think what the Yankees want to get out of this outing is to get him to 90 pitches.
Yeah, just get the pitch count up. And I just mentioned the most important thing for Dave Island and Joe Girardi is health for Andy Pettitte. Obviously, you want him to go out there and win a ball game and dominate, but get the pitch count up, get out of here healthy.
The count 3-1.
It's like he's rushing a little bit right now, throwing a lot of pitches in this inning. His arm was dragging behind a little bit on that delivery.
And Jonathan Albaladale warming. There's a strike. Count 3-2 on Scudero. Infield in. Pitch. Line drive. That's a base hit to left center field. Granderson cuts it off. Scudero makes the big turn. 2-run score. And the Red Sox lead the Yankees 7-1.
Andy Andy Pettitte tries to go with a backdoor curveball, and it kind of rolls to the middle of the plate. Actually, a backdoor cutter. Did not have a lot of action on it. Scudero takes advantage, drilling it into left center field. 2 runs will score easily. We'll bring Dave Island out to have a little conversation. McDonald, as you mentioned, that big lead at second base. No problem scoring on the base hit.
Is this a tough call here, John? If he continues to struggle, you certainly don't want to embarrass him out there, but it's imperative that you get his pitch count up.
Get the pitch count up, and I'm sure Dave Island, with all the respect he has for Andy Pettitte, that's a conversation. Hey, how do you feel? I mean, do you want to get the pitch count up? We can get you out of here, and you can get your work underneath, you know, in the batting cage, throw some extra pitches. I think most importantly, you give him a little breather. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, coming off an injury. The last thing you want to see is him overextend himself.
Here's J.D. Drew. Base hit, right field. Swisher fields, he'll get the ball in. So Drew with a single, and that is the 6th hit given up by Andy Pettitte this inning. And Joe Girardi's seen enough. He's not letting him out there. So he throws 75. He'll probably throw 15 in the indoor cage right beyond the Yankee dugout. And they'll get his pitch count up that way. 10 hits is a new season high for Andy Pettitte in what had been a great season leading up to this start. So Andy departs, leaves runners on first and second with 1 out. Yankees are down 7-1. By Acura Advance, and by Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. The moon is trying to hide behind the pole, but we can still see it. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, and it's brought to you by AT&T, Rethink Possible. So Andy Pettitte's night is over, and they will bring on Jonathan Albaladeo. Those are the numbers up here. The numbers in Scranton-Wilkes-Barre off the charts. Great. So here's Victor Martinez. It shows you this game right here, the delicate balance of what the Yankees are trying to do. They're trying to win games. They're trying to finish first. They're also trying to get Andy Pettitte straightened out and the rest of the team straightened out as Alvarado gets Martinez to ground into a 4-6-3 double play. But 4 more runs give the Red Sox a 7-1 lead. Ever to hit 50 home runs. Who are the only 2 Red Sox to hit 50 home runs in a season? I think Jimmy Fox was one of them, I think. Let's see who the other is. David Ortiz. So David had 54 in 06, and Jimmy Fox 50 in 1938.
I think Jim Rice had a possibility to be there.
Never hit 50. 1978, Jim Rice had 46 home runs. That's the year he won the MVP, and Ron Guidry won the Cy Young. Grounded foul.
Josh Beckett now has a nice 6-run lead. Quickly jumps ahead on Mark Teixeira. Mark swung the bat well last night from the right side of the plate. Still looking to see that swing come around from the left side. Know about his health problems.
The 1-2. Still 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. You could really tell, John, he's pitching a lot more than he ever has. I mean, he's always been an outstanding pitcher per se, but he is changing speeds and throwing all of his pitches. And that splitter serves as a really nice change.
No, it really does. And I think the best thing that you could say about Beckett is he's pitching tonight. I think before, when he was younger, he was a thrower. I mean, here's my best fastball. Here's a power curveball. And my stuff is going to be good enough to beat you. And tonight, and over the last 5 starts, the numbers are good.
A-Rod hits one deep to center. McDonald back. He's still back. He's on the track. He'll make the play.
Even that pitch right there, an 89-mile-an-hour cutter. This gets Alex Rodriguez off the end of the bat. It looks like a fastball. It's just a little bit of movement away. Just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
Twins are in Detroit tonight, and Detroit leads 2-0, bottom of the fourth, and sure they held their breath, and their fans held their breath. Francisco Liriano, who's been slated to start the first game of their playoff series, left the game in the fourth inning when the trainer came to the mound. Now, the Twins just said that Liriano left with a non-baseball related illness. So as long as it's not the arm, I think they can breathe easy. Might have a stomach ache.
Stomach ache is the first thing I would think of. Can't speculate.
No, certainly not from this far away.
Let's ask Jack Curry.
Fouled away, count 0-2.
Well, you don't know how this is going to play out for the Red Sox. Obviously, a lot of things have to go right for their season to continue. Have to be pleased with what they've seen from Josh Beckett his last 5 outings, and here tonight, 2 hits early, 1 home run to Curtis Granderson.
Tap off the glove of Beckett. He finds it and flips the first, and that'll do it. So the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. We played 4. It's 7-1 Red Sox. Thank you, Bob. Red Sox lead the Yankees 7-1 in the top of the 5th inning. And Adrian Beltre will lead off against Jonathan Albaladeo. And the first pitch is outside 1-0. Albaladeo, a short reliever in Scranton Wilkes-Barre, so I don't think he could give the Yankees that much strength, but he got the first batter he faced in the 4th inning, got him to wrap into a double play. That was Victor Martinez. The 1-0. Fouled away. Now, check this out. The first pitch, Beltre checks the swing, and then he wants you to check with the ump.
Isn't that the catcher's job?
I mean, if there's no checking, then you've checked your swing. I mean, the first base ump can only give you bad news. The 1-1. That one is lined to right field. Nick Swisher makes the play. Not too many easy chances out there tonight for Nick.
I think Nick is happy that this line drive stayed underneath the lights. Had a good look at it all the way. And Beltre having a big year. It's a rocket to right field. Nice sliding play. Ooh, little snow cone in the glove, but he holds on.
Here's David Ortiz. And the count 1-0.
Michael, let's get back to Andy Pettitte and his night. He gives up 10 hits and 7 runs. Concerned?
No.
Not at all, right?
Not a bit, because I think there's one job with Andy Pettitte. If he's healthy, you know he's going to pitch well. You just have to get him working. You have to get him his pitches. That's the way I feel. How about you?
I totally agree. Coming into this game, Andy Pettitte doesn't have to prove to you that he can get people out. He's got to show you that he's healthy and get the pitch count up. Obviously, you don't want it to go the way that it went tonight, 10 hits, 7 runs. But he has nothing to prove except that he is healthy and ready to go for a postseason start.
Grounded to first. Teixeira. Two outs and nobody on. Now, he threw 79 pitches Sunday. He threw 75 today. And as I mentioned, John, he was so much better on Sunday. He seemed like he was totally in command. His pitches were mixed beautifully. They all hit the corners. He threw them where he wanted to. Today, it wasn't there.
Well, I think when you watch him tonight, he did not walk a batter. He was around the strike zone, which is good news. But if you looked at his stuff, I mean, it was flat. Really, there was nothing that was electric. His cutter was decent. His curveball was rolling. Remember, maybe a few changeups that weren't fantastic. Now, you don't know if, he's coming back from an injury, had a couple of rehab starts. First one out against Baltimore in first outing. I'm sure he was excited. Adrenaline was pumping. You would think the same thing in a Red Sox game tonight. Just didn't happen.
The 1-0. There's a strike to Lowell. The 1-1 pitch inside. Seven-1 Red Sox were in the top of the 5th. The 2-1. 3-1.
Mike Lowell at the tail end of his career is going to retire after this season, has 4 home runs and 22 RBIs in a fastball count right now. Reputation as being a fantastic fastball hitter during his career.
And Lowell works a walk. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question, which Red Sox player's injury was the most detrimental to the team this season? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. Well, I would agree. Pedroia first and Youkilis second. That's the way I'd look at it. Pedroia's kind of the engine that makes that team run, I think.
Youkilis such a solid run producer, versatile in the field.
Popped up and out of play by Lowry. Lowry with a big blow, kind of stunned the crowd when he hit the 3-run home run in the second inning. You figure Andy Pettitte on the mound, Pettitte and Beckett. It's going to be a pitcher's duel, and all of a sudden, light hitting shortstop drives one into the seats for a 3-run home run. Count 1-1. Lowell leads up first. Teixeira plays behind him. Albaladeo sets. The 1-1. Grounded to first. Knocked down by Teixeira. Scrambles after it. Flips to Albaladeo. Can't make the play. So Lowry reaches. We'll see how they score that. It's going to be an error on somebody, I would think. It was a nice play getting to the ball. Let's see.
And Mark Teixeira playing behind does a nice job getting to it. Hits off his chest. Hustles it up and makes a little flip to Albaladeo, maybe a little bit behind him. Good play to keep it in front. Backhand flip.
Ooh, right on the side of the neck.
Guy's beat up enough as it is. Right hand, right pinky toe. Took a fastball in the thigh the other night, and now he's going to have a little neck bruise.
They're going to give him a base hit, so there is no error. Pitch is high to Bill Hall.
Get a good view of the flip right here. That's behind Albaladejo.
I've always thought, I'm not an official scorer, obviously, that even if it's a great play to get to the ball, which it was, right, then I break it down to a second part. Well, he had him then.
And he had time.
Right, he had time. And to me, I don't want to give Mark Teixeira an error, but the throw is what cost him the run. So once the play is made, okay, that's part one. That's completed. He already did that. So you can't say, well, not many first basemen would have gotten to that. He did. And then once he scrambles the ball, all he has to do is make a good toss. It's a degree of difficulty, and I guess that's what the official scorer went by. The 2-1. Outside 3-1.
Careful here to Billy Hall, 17 home runs on the year. Plenty of power. Donald waiting on deck.
Driven deep to left center field. Going back, Granderson looking up, a long home run for Bill Hall, and the Red Sox pouring it on. They lead 10-1. My, was that a long home run.
He's always had plenty of power, and you put him in a fastball count, he can do some major damage. You eliminate the other pitches, look for number one, and when you get it, no doubt about it, into the Red Sox bullpen. That is a deep home run, a 3-run shot. Now the Red Sox a 10-1 lead.
We've seen one other player hit that Zell sign this year, and that was Alex Rodriguez. Pitch outside to McDonald.
Major league hitters, you have to have some sort of doubt what pitch is coming. When you don't have any in a fastball count, you know you're going to get it. They go a long way.
Breaking ball strike. And the pitch. Dribbled slowly back to the mound. Albaladejo will get McDonald, and that will do it. But the Red Sox had 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. The big blow, a 3-run home run off the bat of Bill Hall deep into the Red Sox bullpen. We're halfway through. It's 10-1 Sox. sports bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Here's Lance Berkman. And now Beckett deals a fastball outside. He's got to feel good about things, Beckett. He's got a 10-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And there's been a lot of debate the last couple of days, John, about should a guy like Felix Hernandez with such a low ERA, that one is driven to right field, and a nice catch by the running Drew for the first out. Should he be considered for the Cy Young despite being 12-12 and having the lowest ERA in the American League? And then you say, well, CC's ERA is 3.25, but he has 20 wins. Do you believe that some pitchers pitch to the scoreboard? Do you think that Sabatia's ERA would be lower if his team didn't score him as many runs because if he knew he had to hold the team down to 0 or 1?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a guy like CC, if you have a 6-0 lead and say you have a couple of runners on and a fastball count, you're going to challenge and come right at him, knowing that a 3-run shot will not beat you in that ball game. ERA might be a little bit. Of course, Felix Hernandez should be involved in this discussion, having a fantastic year. I guess it comes down to the voters. Do you go on stats?
There's a ground ball off the bat of Posada. Lowe will take it himself.
And stats, I mean ERA stats. Or do you go with the wins being the most important?
Well, there are some of the candidates, and you can throw John Lester in there as well. But look at those ERA. How do you discount Buchholz? 2.39, and then Price, I think, took a big step yesterday. Now, Sabathia, I thought was the favorite, and probably came closer to the field with that performance yesterday. But I still pay off on wins because I always say, in the pitcher's old age nursing home, they're not going to sit there going, I had a better whip than you. They're going to say I had more wins than you.
Well, here's another question. I mean, this is fresh in the minds of the voters now that CC Sabathia had a tough 6th inning last night. And that's what you're going to remember. Felix Hernandez had a tough month of April. I'm sure the voters aren't going to pay that too much attention. He's been dominant the rest of the way. But I'm with you. I mean, 20 wins on a team that is expected to win, expected to go to the playoffs in the World Series.
Day after the season ends, that Sunday, the votes have to be in by Monday. So it never involves anything you do in the postseason. And I think the AL MVP is going to be a great battle as well. With Josh Hamilton out and not able to build his stats up more, does Cano move forward? Cabrera has had a great year for the Tigers, but they're not going anywhere. That's going to be a very interesting vote. Here's the 2-2. Grounded to first. A tough hop, and it hit Lowell in the face. Oh, my, hope he's okay. A tough hop, and it got Lowell right in the face. And Granderson is worried and goes right over to him. Mike Lowell is such a highly and widely respected player, playing his final 10 games in the majors. He announced a couple of weeks ago that was it for him, and you could see that his eye looks like it's a little bit, you just got to look, there it is, a little bit of a shiner developing. Scary.
Well, you worry about a lot of things here, Michael, and you take another look at the bad hop. Obviously, all those little bones in the face can break easily and shatter. We've seen that before. Right off the cheek. Well, all these talks about concussions lately. Looks like Mike Lowell is going to be all right. Scary moment.
Now, far be it from me to second guess Terry Francona, who I really respect, but you're up 10-1. Why would you keep him in there after that? Even if he says I want to stay in there, wouldn't you take him out?
See what happens here when the third out of this inning is made and he goes in the dugout. Might have a change of his mind.
There's a strike. I mean, luckily it doesn't even seem like it's swelling at this point. The 0-1 fouled away. Granderson was so worried, and then kind of gives Lowell a attaboy slap. That one is a base hit to left field off the bat of Granderson, or off the bat of Gardner as Granderson moves to second.
A nice job by Brett Gardner staying on a low fastball, driving it the other way. Always a nice piece of hitting when a lefty goes the other way.
Here's an interesting note when it comes to the MVP, John. No player has ever played fewer than 10 games in the month of September and ever won the MVP in a non-strike year. That's from the Elias Sports Bureau. And Hamilton has only played 2 games this September. So does that take him out of the running? Jeter takes inside.
Yeah, Michael, I'm terrible when it comes to all this MVP and numbers and stats and all that stuff. But, you know, Robinson Cano has had just a big year, 321. All the home runs, RBIs over 100. Alex Rodriguez, 25 home runs, 113 RBIs. Not going to get any consideration for those numbers. Missing time, batting average a little down.
I think the 270-something batting average probably hurts him. If he didn't get hurt with the calf injury, he'd have about 125 ribbies. But he did, and you can't give those back. The 2-0. There's a strike. (10-1) Red Sox over the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Yankees trying to rally here in the bottom of the inning. An infield single by Granderson, a bloop single to left by Gardner, and here is Jeter, who is 1 for 2. The pitch. Grounded to third. Tough hop. Beltre will go across the diamond, and that will do it. For the Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 6th. 10-1 Yanks. innings. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Kimberly Jones break down all the action and keep you updated on the latest standings as we head into the postseason. Yankees extra innings tomorrow and Sunday after the games. It's only on Yes. 10-1 Boston leads. New Yankee pitcher is Sergio Mitre, and he takes over for Jonathan Albaladeo. The story of this game, Andy Pettitte started, obviously got rocked. That's why he's not in there here in the 6th inning. Actually was knocked out of the game with a 1 out in the 4th. He ended up throwing 75 pitches. Did not pitch that well. Gave up 7 runs. The Yankees, for the first time all season, have allowed 10 runs in back-to-back games. These are the numbers on Mitre. Not too bad. 41 hits and 49 in the 3rd innings. He doesn't strike out batters. He hit ground balls. Looks like Lowell has been crossed off the lineup. We'll see who they plug in there. If that spot in the lineup comes up this inning or who takes over at first. And that makes sense. You just want to be sure. And here's Marco Scutaro. And Mitre deals outside. This is just Mitre's 3rd appearance since August 28th. They have not used him a lot.
He hasn't pitched in 11 days since giving up that walk-off home run in Tampa to Reed Brignac. You're always concerned about a reliever who's not worked that much, about his location. Can he throw the ball over the plate? Will he be sharp? Falls behind quickly, 2-0.
Fouled away. 10 runs on 12 hits with 1 error by the Red Sox and 1-4-1 for the Yankees. Tampa Bay now leads 4-2 in St. Petersburg against Seattle. That's in the bottom of the 5th. Shattered bat, knocked down by Mitre, and there's one away.
Good sign for Mitre with that good sinking fastball right off the end of the bat from Scutaro. It's a nice job knocking it down, and the underhand flip over to Mark Teixeira.
Here's J.D. Drew, 2 for 3. And now he's 3 for 4. Swisher comes up and gets the ball back into the infield. You get the feeling when you see this Red Sox team, and we keep stressing that they're probably out of it, but mathematically they're not. This is going to be a completely different team next year, John. I think they're going to redo the whole thing. You don't know if Ortiz is coming back. You don't know if Martinez is coming back. Lowell is going to retire. You don't know if they're going to re-sign Beltre, who wants a multi-year deal. Do they go that route? So there could be a lot of money coming off their payroll that they're going to want to spend, and we'll see which way they go.
Varitek, right? His contract's done. Captain of the club.
And the moves they made last year, or last offseason, John Lackey has not paid off the way they thought. They thought he was going to be a huge part of what they're doing, and he's had an okay year.
Tough to judge, though, right? GM, general manager Theo Epstein was going to go for pitching and better defense. How do you evaluate when you've had all these injuries if that plan didn't work? I mean, it's tough to do with all the injuries that they have fought through this year.
That's a good point. You almost have to see through it.
Yeah. What about Papelbon at the end of that bullpen?
That's a big question mark. He has not played that well this year. He has not pitched as dominantly as he has. He's got 1 more year left, arbitration eligible, but they feel that Daniel Bard could be ready to close. So do you deal Papelbon before he would leave as a free agent? Those are questions that the Red Sox have to answer. And I'll tell you what, very, very complimentary. Terry Francona is of Papelbon. He said he's setting the bar very high. He said he's still a great closer. Their starting pitching is locked up, though. You've got Beckett with the long-term deal. You still got years left on the Matsuzaka deal. You've got Lackey on the long-term deal. Wakefield is year to year. Lester is young, so he's under their control for a while. So their starters are locked up. They'd have to change things in the field, position players. The 2-2. Grounded foul. Papelbon's ERA this year is 3.86, and his career high was 2.65 in his rookie year. So that's a full 1 or more runs per game, or per 9 innings for him. The 2-2. 3-2. I still contend, John, I don't know if you agree, that the single biggest non-signing for the Red Sox was losing Teixeira to the Yankees. Because I think that shifted the balance of power in the East for years. Because the Yankees would not have had Teixeira, and you would have. And the Yankees would have had to have Nick Swisher at first base that year, and who would have been in right? I mean, everything would have changed. The 3-2. High fly ball. Center field. Granderson is there for the second out. Tonight after the postgame, catch This Week in Football presented by Geico as the crew previews this weekend's matchups between the Giants and the Titans and the Jets against the Dolphins. Plus an interview with the Jets wide receiver Jericho Cotchery. This Week in Football tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. And another part of not signing Teixeira, I feel, John, forced them to make the trade for Victor Martinez. That was their answer to what Teixeira would have been in their lineup. And I think they thought they had Teixeira signed.
Yeah. Well, Victor Martinez, for me, is really going to be the interesting one. I mean, his second half of the year since coming back from the injury has been spectacular. We're hearing that he's throwing better behind the plate. Well, the one thing that we know from general manager Theo Epstein, he has a plan, and he also has, what would you call it, a financial plan. He will not overspend for some big names. Has a budget that he works with.
One. 1-2.
Red Sox looking forward to next year. Kevin Youkilis will be healthy. Dustin Pedroia will be healthy.
What do you do with Ellsbury? Can you depend on him? He kept getting hurt all year.
It has a reputation now.
Yeah.
Huh? Can't stay healthy.
And he was a big part of their pitching and defense plan. And all of a sudden, your center fielder's out. And your leadoff hitter. 10-1 Red Sox lead, top of the sixth, runner on first with 2 outs. Ellsbury played just 18 games this year. 18, the 1-2. Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Jeter. The throw to second. They got him. They get J.D. Drew on the force. Nice play by Derek Jeter. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. The captain goes in the hole. The jump throw to second, and they just get Drew for the final out. Look at it with the IOTV HD Super Shot.
Derek Jeter going to his backhand, jumps. You see Robinson Cano acting like a first baseman with the stretch.
The 1-0. The 1-1. 2-1. 10-1. Red Sox lead the Yankees. Let's see when the ball gets the glove. That's a good call by the second base umpire, Phil Cousy. Now, John, honestly, naked eye, didn't you think he was safe?
I did. I thought he was safe.
Same as me.
It's incredible.
Same as I.
The first time we've agreed on something all year.
I think we agree on more than you think. We're just a contrarian. There's a ground ball. Diving stop by the new first baseman, Lars Anderson. And he flips to Beckett for the first out.
Lars Anderson comes in from Mike Lowell, who took that ground ball from Curtis Granderson off his cheek. Number 44 makes a nice play going to his right. First out in the 6th inning.
Here's Teixeira. High drive, right field, drew back, on the track, at the wall. See ya. A long solo home run for Mark Teixeira. And the Yankees now trail 10-2. And that is his first home run since August 31st.
Well, it might be a meaningless home run now in a 10-2 ball game, but good signs for the Yankees. Mark Teixeira, especially from the left side, has been struggling with those injuries. Best swing we have seen from him in about a week from the left side. His 31st home run of the year.
75 at bats since his last home run, and he still has 31 on the year.
Saw some better swings from Mark from the right side last night. That's a rocket there from the left side. 31st home run.
Breaking ball strike. Count 2-1. And the count 3-1 to Alex.
Michael, you talked about CC Sabathia pitching to the scoreboard. We'll see if Josh Beckett does the same thing here. 3-1 count to Alex Rodriguez. 8-run lead. Does he come right at him?
He does, and that one's drilled deep to left. There it goes. See ya. A long home run by Alex Rodriguez as the Yankees go back-to-back. And the Red Sox lead is 10-3. Alex Rodriguez with his 609th career home run, and that ties Sammy Sosa on the all-time list.
This is what winning pitchers do when they have a big lead. They come right at hitters. You force them to put the ball in play. Alex Rodriguez gets a fastball and a fastball count. Number 26. Long home run to left field.
8th time this year the Yankees have gone back-to-back. Cano takes a strike.
Another look from the side. Good extension and drive off that back
And the 1-2 to Cano. 2-2. So Teixeira with his 31st home run, A-Rod with his 26th. Yankees need to get them going. They will be important in any postseason series. Teixeira coming into that at bat was 1 for his last 17. And a count now 3-2. Okay, so now they've had back-to-back home runs, John. If you're Beckett, are you just throwing the ball to Cano and say hit it? Is the lead big enough?
Oh, on this kind of 3-2 count, certainly, sure. I mean,
even if you go back to back to back, you're okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we talk about pitching to the scoreboard. You want to make sure that you make Robinson Cano put the ball in play. You know, you got what, your 7-run lead still. The last thing you want to do is start pitching tentatively, pitch around people. Fastball away. Let's see what you can do to the big part of the ballpark. He walks him. He walked him.
You know, we gave you the, Farrell's going to come out and talk, John Farrell, the pitching coach of the Red Sox, to Beckett. Gives us time to tell you that we've been telling you about, well, the Rays should be able to beat the Mariners, and they're leading tonight. But the Rays are going to play the entire series without Evan Longoria. And here's why. This was in last night's game. He underhands the ball to second and starts a double play. But on that play, John, he pulled his quadriceps muscle. And so they are not going to play in the 3 games against Seattle. And when you look at the Rays lineup, that lineup needs Crawford and Longoria. It's not the same lineup without those 2 guys.
No, we talked about it during the series. Carl Crawford and Evan Longoria in the middle of that lineup have to get the big hits. It's now 5-2 Tampa Bay over Seattle. Well, they're saying a couple of days he's going to miss. You can see going to his left. It looks like it grabs right there, decides to go underhand. You wonder if a couple of days will be enough to clear that up.
High drive, deep center, McDonald back. He's on the track. He'll make the play. Cano was all the way past second, retraces his steps, and heads back to first as Berkman flies out to center.
Tell you what, Lance Berkman is 0 for 3, and he had a rocket his last time up, a line drive to right field, and this ball to center field is hit well. Sometimes you got to look past the numbers. Lance Berkman is swinging a hot bat right now. Everything he hits is either hit hard on the line. This ball deep to center field. Kevin Long, Joe Girardi have to be happy with where their designated hitter is from the left side.
He's not happy. He wanted a couple more feet. Here's Posada. Hey, Posada hits one in the seats. They have a different feel, and it's 10-5 all of a sudden. So let's see what he does in this at-bat with Cano at first. And there's a strike. So far, a very efficient, well-pitched game by Josh Beckett. Helped early, immediately in the second inning, he had a 3-0 lead. Then it turned into 7-1 after 3.5, and they haven't looked back. So he runs into some issues here in the 6th, back-to-back to Teixeira and A-Rod. Cano was about a foot off the bag.
I guess we got to give Beckett a little bit of credit. I mean, we talked in segment 2 about how the Yankees have beat him up in the career and this year. 4 starts, ERA over 11 coming into this one. But he's looked like a different pitcher tonight, mixing up his pitches a lot better.
The 0-1 grounded right back to Beckett. Flipped to first, and that will do it. But the Yankees put 2 runs on the board. They do it with the long ball. It starts with Mark Teixeira's first home run since August 31st. And then Alex Rodriguez goes back-to-back with a home run up the facing of the second deck. Yankees still trail. in our music and computer world, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the 7th here at the stadium. It's going to be Ortiz, Lars Anderson, and Jed Lowry, with the Red Sox up 10-3. 10-13-1 for the Red Sox, 3-6-1 for the Yankees. First game of this 3-game set. Yankees beat the Red Sox in 2 of these games, and they've clinched the playoff spot because the Yankees' magic number for a playoff spot, not the East, the playoff spot is just 3. Ortiz grounds one foul against Mitre. On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, Boston leads 10-3. Red Sox with 3 in the second, 4 in the 4th, and 3 in the 5th. Yankees 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 6th. It should come as no surprise that the Red Sox are doing well here at the stadium. Since May 22nd, they had the best record in the major leagues on the road. High fly ball to left field. Gardner is there. They are 32-24 on the road since then. Again, the best in the majors. Let's take a look at the Red Sox in-game box score. Brought to you by McDonald's. There are 13 hits in there. 3 by J.D. Drew. 2 by David Ortiz. Jed Lowry's had a big game. 3 for 3. A home run, 3 ribbies, and 3 runs scored. Bill Hall with a home run, a 3-run shot. And Darnell McDonald a double, 2 ribbies, and a run.
Little sinker up in the zone. David Ortiz had a pretty good pitch to hit, just working underneath it a little bit.
Here's Lars Anderson. Anderson took over at first after a bad hop. Caught Mike Lowell on the right side of the face, kind of near his eye. He stayed in for the remainder of the inning in the field, but then was lifted. Played at AA, Portland, and AAA Pawtucket this year. Combined at 274, 15 homers, and 69 ribbies in those 2 levels. He was promoted to AAA on April 29th, and hit 262 there with 10 homers and 53 ribbies in 113 games. And over the final 25 games with Pawtucket, he hit 330, and that will usually get you promoted. And that's why they brought him up when they expanded the rosters.
Pawtucket, Rhode Island. AAA for the Red Sox.
There's a strike. You played for the Paw Sox, didn't you?
I played for the Pawtucket Red Sox for parts of 4 seasons, I believe.
So you bought a home there.
Could have ran for mayor there. I kind of made it up to AAA quickly and then just was back and forth, up and down.
High pop-up. Way up there. Teixeira calls off Cano and makes the play for the second out. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. John Lester, 18-8, 3.06 against Ivan Nova, 1-0, 4.11. Now, the game's going to be on Fox, but Yankees extra innings on Yes immediately follows the game. So once the final out is done, boom, you turn to Yes, and we have it all covered with Bob and Jack and Kim. Same thing on Sunday. Games on ESPN. After the final out, go right to Yes, and we'll have it all covered. Jed Lowry takes a pitch inside.
Well, you know I'm interested to watch that one tomorrow, Michael. Nova, an intriguing arm, has been dominant at times.
Did my radio show today at a bar across the street from the stadium, and a guy walked up to me and said, I agree with Flaherty. Nova should even start a game of the playoffs.
How did he say it?
Just like that. Got right in my grill, too. I said, I think he's a good pitcher, but do you want a 23-year-old starting a big game of the playoffs or relieving in a big game? That's my question. There's a strike.
Well, we've seen in the postseason before some kids come up and you don't know anything about them. The next thing you know, they're playing a big part in the postseason. dominant part, and I'm not saying that's going to happen with Nova, but he has shown us at times he can be overpowering at this level. Tough decision for the Yankees again. We've talked about it. They have a lot of them.
I defer to you. I mean, you know your stuff. If you see something in this guy, then I'm right behind your campaign.
Well, obviously the guy in the bar sees the same thing. I defer to him. And he was saying it emphatically, you were telling me.
In my grill. Now, Beckett pitched in the 2003 World Series on short rest, and he was 23. I think Beckett was...
He was a dominant pitcher the whole year.
Foul ball.
I don't know about dominant the whole year, but got hot at the right time.
It's pretty darn good that Jack McKean decided to pitch him on short rest with a 3-2 lead. And his explanation was, I want to end it now. I don't want a Game 7 at Yankee Stadium.
And unfortunately, I had a front row seat to watch that one, and it was a dominating performance.
Was that 2-0? That sticks in my head. 2-0.
I think so. 2-0 with the feeling we have no chance if this guy is still in the game. He's that good. Right from the beginning of the game all the way through.
2-2. When you see a guy pitching like that and the other team scores a run, do you start to get worried? Was he that good?
No, I mean, early in the game, you know, it's kind of like a heavyweight fight. You're kind of waiting to see who's got the good stuff, who's got the stamina. You could tell Beckett was on early. So when you give up a run or two early, you're kind of like, we might be in trouble. But he got stronger as that game went on.
There's a base hit by Lowry. He is 4 for 4. Swisher gets the ball in quickly. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Jim Cox tells me a story about when he faced Sandy Koufax in the World Series. And Koufax pitched the first inning, and his teammates came up and said, "You better not give up a run."
Go get him.
Go get him. Pitch outside to Hall.
Well, I remember in that World Series, it was a big deal. He was coming back on short rest, and you really paid attention early. Like, is he going to have it, or is the short rest going to be a problem? Obviously, it was not.
And he pitched a complete game.
It's a complete game. And, you know, Michael, as a backup, I would always go to the bullpen in the middle of the game, you know, to get the relievers warm, and walked off the field that night with Roger Clemens thinking that was his last game in the big leagues. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Obviously not. That'll do it. Bill Hall grounds into the fourth. In the seventh, no runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base at the end of 6.5. It's time for the seventh inning stretch. Boston leads 10-3, but we keep it right here at the stadium to honor America in the Bronx.
Thank you. Now Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
The
classic case of our boss out-kicking his coverage.
Do you have a contract for next year?
I do. I do. Granderson takes pitch low on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. It's 10-3. $49,457 here at the ballpark. It's a sellout. 13th sellout of the year here at the ballpark. 1-1. And the count 2-1. Ground and foul. How about this, John? Jose Bautista hit 2 more home runs tonight. 52 on the year.
You know, I remember working a Blue Jay game last year.
That one blown right by Granderson, one away.
Bautista was like an extra guy, you know, would get maybe a start or two in a series, and I wrote down in my notes, because you know how prepared I am. Nice little extra guy. 52 home runs. That's why I'm up here with you and not in the scouting department for Billy Epler with the Yankees.
You know what? He would have been a great extra guy. You were right.
This goes to show you make a little adjustment mechanically, got ready a little bit earlier, unlocked a lot of power.
You know, Johnny has the largest single season increase in the history of baseball in home runs from 13 to 52. There's a ground ball to short. Lowry just gets the hustling of Brett Gardner for the second out. Now let's check out the Yankees in-game box score, brought to you by McDonald's. Yankees have just 6 hits in there. One by Jeter, who will extend his hitting streak to 13 straight. Teixeira, a home run. A-Rod, a home run. A home run by Granderson. He has 2 hits, and Brett Gardner 1.
Michael, getting back to Bautista for a second. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I remember he was hitting these home runs that it was almost like, wow, gotten off to a good start. At the end of the year, now when you see him, he's got that classic slugger swagger when he walks up to the plate. If you throw one inside, he'll give you a glare back to the pitcher. I mean, confidence going along with the mechanical change. 52 home runs later.
Now, because he hit 50 and he hit 13 last year and really has never done much in his career, there have been suspicions of performance-enhancing drugs. And Cito Gaston, his manager, got really angry. He said, this guy works harder than anybody I've ever had. There shouldn't be those suspicions. And Bautista, I thought, handled it great. He said, of course you're going to be suspicious. I understand that. He goes, but, you know, they found something different in my swing. He said, we've been testing for 6 years. He said, I pass all the tests. He said, this is done clean. It's just a shame that all the years of the whispers, it calls everybody into question when they have a season like this.
It does, and you know, I give him credit for at least acknowledging that. I mean, you go from 13 to 52. There are definitely going to be some suspicions. Meanwhile, Josh Beckett, 92 pitches with 2 outs in the 7th inning. On top of his game tonight at an early lead, he's taken advantage.
And the 3-1 to Jeter. Inside, so Jeter works well. Well, Bautista with 2 home runs against the Yankees. That one against A.J. Burnett. And that one even farther. So he doesn't get cheated. Those are not wall scrapers, Sean.
Now and again, we talk about it all the time. A fastball hitter and a fastball count. He has not missed them this year. Yankees will get a good look again Monday, heading to Toronto. Dangerous team, good young rotation, a lot of power.
Nick Swisher hits one deep to right. There it goes. See ya. A 2-run home run. It's 10-5 Red Sox. The Yankees with their 4th home run of the night. Innings against the Yankees this year, John, and Beckett has now allowed 9 home runs.
Well, Beckett not afraid to challenge some Yankee hitters early in the count. It's a first pitch fastball. Not a whole lot of movement down the middle of the plate. Nick Swisher takes care of it. Home run number 28, a 2-run shot. Things getting interesting here in the 7th inning.
Well, they're going to take the ball from Josh Beckett. Terry Francona says, "Thank you, Beckett." Is hoping he picks up his victory to go to 6-5, but now it's up to the bullpen to try to close this out. Then they get the final 7 outs. That's the final pitch that Beckett threw. A long 2-run home run into the night. Stadium Suite. Joining the excitement as the Yankees continue their quest for a 28th World Championship. Yankee Stadium Suites are the perfect entertainment venue with sizes ranging from 12 to 60 guests. Reserve your suite today. Availability is very limited. For more info, call 212-YANKEES. Visit Yankees.com or email suites@Yankees.com. Scott Atchison will deal to Mark Teixeira, and there's a strike. Atchison spent the last 2 years in Japan with the Hanshin Tigers. And he takes over a game. The Red Sox lead 10-5. The largest deficit the Yankees have overcome this season to win is 5 runs. So this was 10-1 at one point.
Atchison wanted that pitch, a little backdoor cutter. Came off the mound thinking he had strike 3 against Mark Teixeira. Did not get the call. It looked like it came around the plate. Victor Martinez tried to bring it back.
Count 3-2. Those are the numbers on Beckett. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 4 home runs, and 95 pitches. Foul back.
I don't know about you, Michael. I was impressed with Beckett tonight. I think he's done a nice job with the decrease in velocity, adding a little cutter. Split finger has always been a good pitch, and throwing that curveball for strikes. Now you look at the 4 home runs, you don't like that. But again, pitching to the scoreboard, challenging some hitters. Some of those challenges ended up in home runs.
Fouled away.
6th inning, Mark Teixeira hitting from the left side, and this is a good sign for him and for the New York Yankees. Right hand has been a problem. Looked pretty good on that swing. See if he gets hot here at the end of September.
And he walked him. So that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez.
That's the last thing you want if you're the Red Sox. Some free passes, bring up some hitters who obviously have some big time power. One of those guys, Alex Rodriguez, in the 6th inning. Fastball and the fastball count goes a long way to left field.
And the 1-0. That one is drilled deep to left center field. Going back home. Looking up. See ya. A 2-run home run for Alex Rodriguez. And the Yankees are making it interesting. The Red Sox now lead 10-7.
See Alex Rodriguez trying to get his teammates fired up. Now you start believing. Fastball down, middle in. The line drive that gets out of here into the Red Sox bullpen. Home run number 27, second of the ball game.
And the 610th of his career. He breaks the tie with Sammy Sosa. But more importantly, he gets the Yankees right back in this game. You're down 3 runs in the 7th. It's certainly not insurmountable. Boy, did he crush that, Mark John.
Yeah, it's not the solo home runs that would beat you. It's the walk before the home run right there. A 2-run shot. But Atchison's probably not real happy about the walk of Mark Teixeira, and then Alex Rodriguez follows it up with a 2-run shot. Big-time momentum shift here in the 7th.
As we mentioned, he passes Sosa, now stands alone in 6th place on the all-time list. He's 20 behind Ken Griffey and 50 behind Willie Mays. Alex has a chance to get that 30 mark again. He's at 27. Here's Cano. Strike.
Michael, one of the greatest teammates I had, Tony Clark, played for the Yankees. He had an expression, just keep the line moving. You got the momentum going right here. You don't have to hit a home run. Just keep the line moving. Find a way to get on base.
Okajima and Bard, so they got the big guns up now. As this now becomes a little bit of a nail-biter. Alex Rodriguez with 2 home runs tonight. And it's the 58th time in his career he's had a multi-home run game. The 0-2. Grounded softly to second. Scudero to Lars Anderson. And that'll do it. But the Yankees get 4 more runs. A Nick Swisher 2-run home run. And Alex Rodriguez 2-run home run. They knock Beckett out of the game. And this one gives the Yankees some hope as they now trail 10-7. vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Jed Lowry, number 2, Bill Hall, number 3, Nick Swisher, number 4, Alex Rodriguez. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Well, Sergio Mitre was allowed to warm up, and Joe Girardi came out of the dugout. He was signaled for Kerry Wood. He wants to get his better relievers in there. The Yankees are in this game and battling. Gear including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Yankees.com shop. So Kerry Wood comes on to pitch the 8th inning for the Yankees. He's the 4th Yankee pitcher, Andy Pettitte, Jonathan Amoladeo, Sergio Mitre, who kind of restored order to the proceedings. 2 scoreless innings, and now Kerry Wood. You see his numbers. The first pitch inside. Wood has not pitched since the 20th of September. Red Sox lead 10-7.
Yankees scoring 4 runs in that 7th inning. Kerry Wood on to keep the score right here if he can.
Drive deep to right, going back, Swisher, and he makes the play on the track to retire Darnell McDonald. Wood has been scoreless over his last 19 appearances.
Can't say enough about Kerry Wood and the job that he has done. As you see Nick Swisher get turned around. He covers to make the play on the track. Nice acquisition by Brian Cashman and his staff. Take it a step further. Nice job by the scouting department. Kerry Wood spent a lot of time on the disabled list, and they still went ahead and made this trade, and it's worked out for the Yankees.
Here's Scudero. Big 2-run single in the 4th. And there's a strike from Wood, 94 miles an hour. Count 1 or more. Count 2-1. Mitre with a good job. Threw up 2 zeros, allowed the Yankees to get back in this game. Go from 10-1 to 10-7 in a blink. That cutter's a good pitch for him.
You know what? It's a good pitch to righties, but I think more importantly, Joe Girardi has some confidence in Kerry Wood against lefties because of this cutter. Can run in on their hands and away from a righty.
Good 2-2. Driven out to left field. Going to be a long run for Gardner, and he makes the play. Boy, Gardner covered a lot of ground to haul that in.
A lot of things starting to go the Yankees' way. The home runs, and now a nice defensive play by Brett Gardner. Playing a shallow left field, covering a lot of ground. Running to a spot, making the play.
And here's J.D. Drew with 3 hits. And a strike from Wood.
Well, Michael, I think you said it best how Sergio Mitre kind of restored order in this ball game. The Yankees a little chance to score some runs.
And the 0-2. Strike 3. Drew, down rookie. A strong 8th inning for Kerry Wood. He retires the Red Sox in order. Now the Yankee offense takes over in the bottom of the 8th. They need to make up 3.
Looks at the Jets and Giants Week 3 matchups, plus your phone calls and all the latest news from around the NFL. It all starts Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, only on Yes.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Daniel Bard, the hard-throwing youngster, will come on. He's the setup guy from Papelbon. Look at the numbers. 70 strikeouts in 70 1/3. And he's got 69 base runners in 70 1/3, which is outstanding. 1.79 ERA. He throws upwards of about 100 miles an hour at times.
Yeah, and then the slider to go with it, too. A hard power slider, tough matchup.
Many people think he's the heir apparent to Jonathan Papelbon.
He's looking to stop the momentum that the Yankees have offensively lately. 4 runs in the 7th.
That's a good way to start things off. Old Yankee pitcher back in the early 60s, Ryan Doran, who wore these big, thick Coke bottle glasses, and his first pitch, usually when it's warming up, would be up on the screen just to get the battle a little bit nervous, and he also threw extremely hard. The 1-0. Dropped it down a bit, 97.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this matchup, though, Michael, because Lance Berkman really has been swinging the bat a lot better. He's been hitting the off-speed pitches for a little bit of power and taking care of the fastball up the middle. See how this matchup works out. borderline high strike. Lance Berkman doesn't like it. Big pitch from Bard to get back into the count.
Count now 2-2. Ryan Doran pitched for the Yankees 58, 59, and 1960. 61 as well before he was traded to the Dodgers. Look up his stats. That was a big-time, hard-throwing closer. The 2-2. Popped up. Left side. Beltre giving chase. Did he make the play? Yes, he did. A great play by Beltre.
What a year this guy is having. Numbers offensively. Brought to Boston for his defense and does a nice job finding the wall into the stands. Nice concentration.
Bard likes it. In 14 games against the Yankees, Bard has a 5.40 ERA. He's allowed five home runs in 11 2/3 innings.
He's feeling it tonight, though. 98 miles an hour. Electric fastball.
Posada's 0 for 3 tonight. He's faced Bard once and has not picked up a hit. Count 1-2. Now he throws that hard, and that's what makes the slider so effective, because you've got to start your bat, and all of a sudden the ball's going to dip down. So far it's just been fastballs. And that time he went with the slider. He's so tough when he does that, as Posada swings and misses.
You called it, Michael. 3 fastballs in a row, and then look at the slider, and more importantly, location. Down and in. Tight break. Jorge Posada swings right over the top.
Berkman and Long going over Bard. Granderson with a base hit to right field. He turned around a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and picked up his 3rd hit of the night. He has been on fire.
The swing just so much simpler and short, and it helps that 99-mile-an-hour fastball is down in the zone. There's no way you can catch up to it if it's up. Curtis Granderson, nice pitch selection. A nice compact short swing. 3rd hit of the night.
Here's Brett Gardner. Last time the Yankees overcame a 9-run deficit to win a game was in 2006. And a strike to Gardner. We mentioned 49,457, a sellout, 13th sellout of the year here in the Bronx. Yankees Red Sox on a Friday night on a beautiful evening in New York City. We always talk about the last couple of weeks, autumnal feel. Not today. It feels like summer. And the Yankees are getting hot late with 2 in the 6th and 4 in the 7th. And they've hit 5 home runs in this game, all against Josh Beckett. Now, Bard on. Nope, check that. There was 1 against Atchison.
Good take right there from Brett Gardner. You cannot try to handle that fastball up in the zone. Set your sights down. A lot easier to drop the bat head.
Two one. Slap the other way. Granderson with a home run in the third. Then in the sixth inning, back-to-back home runs, solo shots to Teixeira and A-Rod. Then a 2-run shot by Swisher in the seventh, a 2-run shot by A-Rod also in the seventh. That's how the Yankees have their 7 runs. Papelbon's getting ready. 2-2. Grounded towards second. And they just get Gardner for the final out. Anderson took his time getting back to first, and Gardner almost beat it out. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're going to go to the 9th inning with the Yankees down by 3.
Rodriguez in the bottom of the 6th inning, home run number 26, a deep shot from left field. He followed it up in the bottom of the 7th, a 2-run shot, his 27th. Those are your drives of the game.
Victor Martinez leads off against Kerry Wood in for his 2nd inning of work, and the pitch is inside and a little up. Count 1-0. Pitch inside. Hey, I want to correct one thing that I said. Ryan Duran wasn't traded to the LA Dodgers. He was traded to the LA Angels. So if you're looking up Ryan Duran, the guy we were talking about, he went to the Angels in the American League. So my apologies. The 2-0. And he went the expansion draft to the Angels. The Angels became a franchise, and they selected him. Victor Martinez walks on 4 pitches. Boone Logan gets up in the Yankee bullpen, and here is Adrian Beltre. Beltre 0 for 4. And a strike. There's Boone Logan. So this game kind of just moping along for a while has now become a little bit of a nail biter, where the Yankees are using their top flight people, not taking anybody out of the game, and the Red Sox are going to the class of their bullpen, Bard and then Papelbon. They didn't think they'd have to do that when it was 10-1. Those are the numbers against Wood for Beltre. Breaking ball buckled his knees in the count 1-2.
Big power curveball from Kerry Wood. We've seen Beltre go to his back knee on a few pitches. Actually saw a highlight last week. He had a home run with a type of finish, that back knee down to the ground. Clearly fooled.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on that cutter. One away.
Kerry Wood has some good stuff. The power fastball, little cutter. Saw the curveball pitch before. And the cutter to finish Beltre.
Well, with David Ortiz due up, Joe Girardi wants to match lefty against lefty, keep Ortiz in the park. Wood gets a hand, and Logan comes in. Visit Kia.com. By Capital One Bank, what's in your wallet? And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Those are the numbers on Boone Logan. He is the Yankees' left-hander in the bullpen. At this point, their only left-hander. Royce Ring is making a bid to be a second left-hander on the playoff roster. And then you hear news that Marte actually has an outside chance. But right now it's Logan against Ortiz. Ortiz is 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. He doubled to left center in the second, singled to center in the fourth, grounded to first in the fifth, and flied out to left in the seventh. So Victor Martinez leads off first. And Ortiz swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left field. Gardner puts it away for the second out.
It was easy enough for Boone Logan. 1 pitch, 1 out against Ortiz.
Now they're staying with the lefty swinging Lars Anderson. On the bench, the Red Sox have Cash and Navarro. Those are 2 righties. And switch hitters, Varitek, Saltalamacchia, and Nova. Daniel Nova.
Sure, they're thinking about defense here with Anderson staying in the game, getting at bat, and still play first base. Pitch outside.
It's over in St. Pete. Tampa Bay with a 5-3 win over Seattle. So either the Yankees come back or they drop out of first place, and they'll be a half game behind the Rays. The 1-0. Grounded to first. Teixeira will put it away for the final out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones against Papelbon? We'll see. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Kimberly Jones break down all the action from this first game with the Red Sox. And also they look around the league at the latest standings in the postseason race. It's all coming up after the last out. It's right here on Yes. All right, so the Red Sox didn't think they'd have to use their closer when they were up 10-1. Now they're up 10-7. Bottom of the 9th inning, and they bring in Jonathan Papelbon.
Well, you mentioned that ERA earlier, Michael, 3.86, just under 4. Not having that dominant year that he has had in the past. The Yankees have the top of the order. Derek Jeter, Nick Swisher, and Mark Teixeira. So Jonathan Papelbon will have to earn it here in the 9th.
It'll be the top of the order for the Yankees. Jeter, Swisher, and Teixeira. The Yankees have 6 wins this year when trailing after 8 innings. They had only 5 last year. Blown saves this year, Papelbon has 7. In 09, 3. In 08, 5. And the 7 is the most in the American League. Now, in comparison, Mariano has 3. In 4 appearances this year at Yankee Stadium, Papelbon has pitched to a 9.00 ERA. So it's all set up. Let's see what the Yankees do. Derek Jeter starts it off. Strike. Jeter extended his hitting streak to 13 straight with a single in the 3rd inning. He walked and scored in the 7th.
Jeter, not great numbers against Papelbon, 214. You want to get Alex Rodriguez up there if you can. 308 with a couple of home runs against Papelbon.
The 0-2. He swings and misses to a fastball, 1 away.
Came right at Derek Jeter, got ahead 0-2, and then rides a fastball up and in. Derek expands the strike zone.
Here's Nick Swisher. His 2-run home run in the 7th made things interesting at 10-5. And then Alex Rodriguez's 2-run home run later in the inning made it even more interesting, made it 10-7. So Swisher is 1 for 4. 28 home runs, 88 runs batted in. All-star season for him. The off-speed pitch away, and the count 1-0.
Down by 3. Will Nick Swisher be taking a strike, or if he gets something he likes, he gets the green light? Some managers have a philosophy. They want you to take a strike off a closer down by 3. And I believe if Nick Swisher gets a fastball he likes, he will be swinging away.
Fastball. What was that? It might have been a cutter. Two-seamer maybe away, and the count now 2-0.
Yeah, being kind of cute here with Nick Swisher early in the count. I'm looking maybe a little two-seamer that misses down and away. Maybe a little split, a hard split. 3-run lead. Now he's behind in the count. He has to come at Nick Swisher.
Fly ball, center field. And the Yankees are down to their final out. Now, before this game ends, I do want to point out this is our last home game on Yes. Obviously, next week we're on the road doing the games. But I want to thank all of our crew that works on our home games. It is the best. I mean, it is the best crew in all of baseball. And they put on the best show, and they get the best shots. And we couldn't thank them enough. Everything that they do is top flight. And we love them. And they work here at the stadium all year, so thank you to all the guys and gals behind the scenes.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Count 1-0 to Teixeira.
Well, Terry Francona has his club playing day to day. Try to win the game that night, worry about the next day. Off to a big start in this ball game, and things have gotten interesting here at the end. Red Sox still believe.
The 1-1. Driven deep to right field. Going back, Drew on the track, looking up. See ya! The Yankees are still alive. Second home run of the night for Teixeira. And the Yankees trail 10-8.
Second home run of the night for Mark Teixeira, his 32nd. Again, we mentioned it with his first home run. Good signs for the Yankees and Mark. Seems like that right hand feeling better. Fastball down. It's actually the first hit he has ever had against Jonathan Papelbon. Was 0 for 9 coming into that at bat.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, 2 home runs so far tonight. His last 2 at bats. Papelbon deals. Count 1-0. Yankees down by 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. The 1-0 to A-Rod. 1-1. Alex has a 3 home run game already this year. He did it in Kansas City. And some of them were just titanic glass. And that one landed in the drink. Does he have another home run against him, or as John said, move the line along? You're down by 2. 1-1.
Close pitch right there. Alex Rodriguez gets a call.
Those are the numbers against Papelbon. 4 for 13. 2 of them home runs.
It's amazing how one pitch can swing in at bat. Now Alex in the driver's seat, 2-1. Just off the plate. Could have went either way.
to a fastball by him to count 2-2. Yankees down to their final strike. Who would have thought when they were down 10-1 that the tying run would be on deck in the bottom of the 9th inning? If A-Rod gets on, Cano is the tying run. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Full count.
Sure, Alex Rodriguez thinking Papelbon's going to come right at me with a fastball, 3-2, a 2-run lead. He throws a split finger and a good one. He's probably going to get a swing and a miss.
Those are the numbers against the Yankees. Not pretty. Yankees are trying to make them even uglier. The 3-2. He walked him. The Yankees now will bring the tying run to the plate.
You have to have a lot of confidence to throw that pitch 3-2, a split finger, and he missed. Now Robinson Cano has a chance to tie this ball game up with one swing of the bat. 3-2. If you throw it for a strike, you're probably going to get a strikeout, but not even close. Alex Rodriguez recognized it right away.
Cano 0 for 3 tonight with a walk.
4 for 15 against Papelbon. Does not have a home run.
He's got 28 home runs on the year. They are not holding on A-Rod. He can take off for second and move into scoring position. There he goes. Grounded foul. Teixeira's home run, the Yankees' 6th tonight, and that is a season high.
It's all you could have asked for if you were the Yankees when you were down 10-1, a chance for one swing of the bat to tie it up.
A-Rod and Teixeira have been teammates with the Yankees for 2 years and a couple of years with Texas. Never before have they each had 2 home runs in the same game. There he goes. The 0-1 is outside. So Alex takes second on defensive indifference, and that removes any kind of force on a diving play.
Again, a borderline pitch could go either way. Jerry Crawford, the home plate umpire, gives it to Papelbon. Fastball. Ends up off the plate. Victor Martinez brings it back, and Robinson Cano can't believe it.
In the Great Hall, they are watching, deciding whether or not to leave. And the 1-2. Still 1-2. Not too many in this crowd have left. 13 sellout of the year. Sure, there are some that have gone, but the vast majority have stayed as the Yankees chipped away and trying to pull off one of their more dramatic comebacks. Berkman is on deck, but right now it's Cano in the batter's box. A-Rod is at second. pitch. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Too much tension as Martinez and Papelbon have a long conference in front of the pitcher's mound. Yankees down by 2. 2 outs, 2-2 count. Red Sox closer leans in. And the pitch to Cano. Swung on and missed. And the Yankee comeback falls short. In the 9th inning, the Yankees 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And you got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game.
We'll take a look at this last pitch to Robinson Cano. A good split finger down in the zone. Robinson Cano helps Papelbon out. Hunting a fastball, didn't get it. The Red Sox come out of here with a victory.
Well, Papelbon didn't feel good about the victory. He didn't go through all of his celebrations on the mound. He's had a rough season, so he'll take the save. Valiant effort by the Yankees, but they fall short. They lose 10-8. We'll be back.